Welcome back for episode 24. This will be from April 26th to May 9th.
So Tesla had their 2020 quarter one earnings call, and there was a lot of surprising news. So the first and biggest thing is that Tesla was GAAP profitable for the first time ever in a first quarter. They also had more vehicle production and deliveries than any other first quarter. They talked a little bit about the Model Y and that they produced more Model Ys in the first quarter than they did of the first two quarters of the Model 3, which if I did my math right, that was about 1,776 Model 3s. So they did better than that for the first quarter, and they were also profitable with their Model Ys. This is the first time Tesla's actually ever produced a car that was profitable in the first quarter ever. These first quarter numbers are pretty surprising given the coronavirus, and also a lot of people are speculating that sales would plummet with the federal government subsidies dropping off. But sales were still strong either way, so it didn't seem that the government subsidies had much impact on Tesla sales at all. On the earnings call, we actually learned quite a few things. There was a lot involved in the call. You can go listen to it. Elon was pretty fired up about the coronavirus and the lockdown that the Fremont factory is having. If you want to listen to that, language warning, he, again, does get pretty fired up. But apart from that, we learned things like the Model S supposedly has a 400-mile range, that the EPA kind of botched the test and they left the door open overnight or something. Apart from that, the next Gigafactory could be announced within the next month. Still a lot of speculation that it's going to be in Texas. He also said that the battery day that we've been anticipating should come in the third week of May, roughly, so hopefully next week, or in the next 2 weeks. And lastly, he mentioned that full self-driving will actually be a subscription that's offered later on this year. And maybe we'll try it out for a month or two, depending on what the pricing is. There's no info regarding that yet, and she's kind of surprised to hear that because we've said no to full self-driving for a while. But anyways, those are the biggest things that came from the earnings call, and we'll just leave links down below for that.
Minor software updates have been rolling out since our last episode. 2020.11.1 and .2 and .5 have been the ones that have come out. They've all been for minor bug fixes. The next software, 2020.16, has been leaked and includes a few new features. So let's look at those. The Tesla ToyBox has been redesigned, a new charger view to see chargers based off their maximum speed charge, a new dash cam USB improvement to make it easier to set up the USB, and Backgammon improvements, because apparently it was too easy and now it's been trained by playing 20 plus million times.
So there have been some leaked emails from the Volkswagen CEO Herbert Diess, and they are basically just admitting that Tesla is causing headaches for him and that they do have an advantage. And it says, "What worries me the most is capabilities in assistance systems. 500,000 Teslas function as a neural network that continuously collects data and provides the customer a new driving experience every 14 days with improved properties. No other automobile manufacturer can do that today."
The Tesla website has gotten a few new updates. Now when you're on the homepage, the Model Y shows up on there. And then if you have a Tesla account, you can log in and you can see what your past purchases have been. We're not really sure why that hasn't been an option before, but it's there now, and I think that's really convenient for people to have it all in one place. Brooks from Drag Times has a video comparing the Porsche Taycan and also the Model S. From 0 to 60, the Taycan and the S are pretty comparable, but when it comes to higher speed, the Taycan crushes the S. When it goes into its second gear, it just puts the S to shame. So great job, Porsche, for creating an EV that handles that second gear excellent, and maybe one day we'll see that in a Tesla.
Shout out to the Reddit user Matthew Felgate for this chart. He took the information from Tesla's vehicle safety report and basically just threw it all together so we could see how safe autopilot is getting. Clearly, autopilot, as you can see, is getting significantly safer than it was. I just recommend that you take this with a huge grain of salt because most people only drive autopilot on freeways and highways, which is where the least amount of accidents occur. So I think that we'll get a better view of what this looks like later on when autopilot is released for city driving. I think that's when we'll actually be able to compare it to regular cars versus autopilot cars.
Sandy Munro continues his teardown of the Model Y. Go check out his YouTube channel for some really awesome videos. It's Munro Live. He also did an interview with Sean Mitchell with All Things EV, and Sandy said that it's the best EV Tesla makes, which means that it's the best vehicle Tesla makes since they are all EVs. So thank you, Sandy. and I hope all of you with Model Y reservations are even more excited.
So the first official rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive Model 3 has been completed in Quebec. It was about $7,000. Don't think it's really worth it because you have to go and buy a separate battery plus the new motor and then turn around and sell your old battery to make it $7,000. So basically you're better off to just sell your car and get a new one if you want all-wheel drive. Unless you've got a bunch of mods or something like that on your car that you just absolutely have to keep, just sell your car and get a new one if you want all-wheel drive.
Green the Only is at it again. Hardware 3 with the Model Y is incompatible with the S and X, so he suspects that those cars will get another update, at least with the autopilot hardware.
Joe Rogan had another podcast with Elon Musk on it, and we learned a few things about what's going on with Tesla so far. So right now, one of the things is that the Roadster is actually getting pushed back to 2021. That's because they're trying to do things in favor of what's going to make the company money. So things like the Cybertruck are going to get pushed forward a little bit. The semi-truck, it's already been delayed from 2019 to 2020. Likely is going to be going to 2021, but that will be pushed in front of the Roadster. And then they're trying to get Giga Berlin finished up and finish up Giga Shanghai. So a bunch of things that are still in the process. They're not fully canceled or anything. They're just being delayed a bit.
And now on to Elon tweets for the last few weeks. Tesla owners Silicon Valley said, "Do you think we could get video conferencing within a Tesla?" Elon Musk, "Yeah, definitely a future feature." Third Row Tesla podcast asked, "What's the next full self-driving feature we're going to get? Automatic lane changes on city streets?" Elon said, "Turns on city street intersections is the big one." Then the follow-up question, "What about roundabouts?" And Elon said, "Roundabouts, no problem, but dodging distracted human drivers, very tricky." Another from Tesla owner Silicon Valley, "Can we get miles and range to show up on the app and in the car?" Elon, "Probably makes sense to have a detail section of the app that mirrors everything in the car. Would also allow phone to be used in lieu of car screen if car screen faults for any reason." Clay Ellis, "Can we get the option to turn off auto lock when you walk away from the car if you're at home? We're packing for a road trip and my wife gets frustrated when I'm not right next to the car and needs to put something in." Elon replied, "Yes." Third Row Tesla podcast, "Can you add a section in the odometer to show how many miles the car has driven on autopilot?" Elon, "Okay." Everyday Astronaut asked, "Why can't the camera read the speed limit signs? Is it because of the patent from Mobileye? It seems like that's not a very novel thing and wise for the future of self-driving cars." Elon Musk said, "Coming soon." Elon tweeted, "Minecraft has amazing legs." Then he followed it up with, "Anyone think they can get a good multiplayer Minecraft working on Teslas? Or maybe create a game that interacts virtually with reality like Pokemon Go while driving safely? Like a complex version of Pac-Man or Mario Kart?"
Then on to supercharger updates, and it's been a really slow week with the coronavirus and everything, or I guess a slow 2 weeks. There have only been 10 updates in the last 2 weeks. There have been 3 permits issued, 1 in the US, 1 in Austria, and 1 in Iceland. 4 have started construction, 1 in the US, 1 in the UK, 1 in Mexico, and 1 in Austria. And 3 locations were opened up, all of which were in the US. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it a lot. If you have any questions, let us know. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If not, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, whatever you prefer. You can subscribe if that's something that interests you. And other than that, we'll see you in the next one.
Eight lines?
So the day after the earnings call, in China, the standard range Model Plus, holy crap, that came out way bad. Standard range Model Plus. Wow. Alrighty. Take 6,000.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, you also said speed charge instead of charge speed earlier.
I did?
Yeah.
I wonder-
So the first official real